Hey everybody, this is Devout Tones, right back at you with another video. And this next video is going to be on blacklist removal in the Philippines with the Philippine Bureau of Immigration. My last video was for the overstayers. This is going to be the next part of that process, which is going to be blacklist removal. Because once you're an overstay and you leave the country, whether it be on your own terms or however, if you have to get the waiver from the embassy, you're going to be blacklisted. If you're blacklisted for any other reasons, this may be more difficult for you and maybe more costly. This blacklist removal costed me so far roughly 15,000 US dollars. And that's all legitimate. My actual fines and fees, I think, were 60,000 pesos, which is roughly $1,700, something like that, 1,500, depending on the currency exchange rate. I know it fluctuates quite a bit. You have to pay a 55,000 peso processing fee to the commissioner of the Bureau of Immigration. 55,000 pesos, and if you do not have a wife or a family member or loved one in the Philippines, you are going to need to hire an agency, a trusted agency, might I add, and an attorney, which the agency should have an attorney that they use and recommend, and that would be your best bet. Rather than hunting down an attorney for this matter, I would go simply to a trusted agency. Maybe if you were there before and you had an agency handling your passport and your visas, I know there are agencies where you can drop off your passport. That way on immigration day, visa renewal day, all you have to do is call up the agency, pay your fee, and they handle it for you. That's what I'll be doing when I get back to the Philippines. When I was there before, I was on a tight budget when I was doing my visa renewals. So I never did that, but I will be this time. And I don't think I'm gonna need it because I'm gonna be going on a spousal visa. But there are gonna be also stipulations to my blacklist removal. I'm gonna be on a probationary period. I'm not exactly sure how long that's gonna last or be until I get this final paperwork come back, which I'm hoping comes back in February of 2024. And this process does take, I'm going on a year and a half with this process, so it's not one and done. And don't let anyone convince you that you can just go back to the Philippines and pay to get in at the airport, because the immigration officers in the airport are very strict. They're hard to deal with, and you may get overcharged depending if there's any kind of funny business going on. And I'll explain that in a second as well. So in 2015, when I left the Philippines, I was blacklisted. I wasn't banned officially yet. That didn't happen until I paid to have the blacklist removed. But I called ahead. I did some research and called ahead. And I was told that I could pay for my blacklist removal and re-enter the country in the airport in Manila when I flew in. And I was misinformed big time. When I got there, they were not happy. They asked why I was there. They told me that they could let me re-enter the country for 200,000 pesos, and they explained some things to me. Pretty much they were gonna, from what I understand, and I don't want to get myself in any trouble or break any laws in the Philippines or badmouth any officials in the Philippines. When I got there, they were gonna charge me 200,000 pesos to let me re-enter the country, and I would still be illegal. That's not good, because then when you go to leave again, you're going to be arrested, and in fact you could be charged with that. It falls along the lines of some type of corruption, maybe bribing an immigration officer. The rap will be placed on you. You will take the fall for that. Do not do that. under any circumstances, unless you are absolutely desperate to go live in the Philippines, and you never plan on leaving. Do not do that, because that can get you in serious trouble. You can go to prison. Um, so I told them there that I thought that that was corrupt. And they told me in turn that they were turning me around and sending me to my last point of entry, which was Japan. My return ticket to the United States wasn't for another 2 or 3 weeks, I believe, at that time. And I didn't know anybody in Japan. So I would have been stuck in Japan for 2 to 3 weeks, pretty much living in hotels or in the airport, depending on what kind of funds you have. We were tight budgeted at that time. Going to see my father-in-law, who was very sick, who's made a full recovery now, but yeah, I wasn't gonna re-enter illegally, and I didn't want to sit in Japan. So under those circumstances, if that does happen to you, what you can do is have the Bureau of Immigration amend your return ticket. They were able to amend my return ticket to from 3 weeks out until present, till right now. And I was able to board a plane back to Chicago in the United States, Chicago O'Hare, and return home that way. But yeah, you need to not go to the airport and try to pay your fines and fees. Um, it will turn out bad for you any way around it. Either they'll overcharge you and let you enter illegally, or they'll deport you on the spot. And that's what happened to me. Is I was deported on the spot. Um, so last year, um, I was able to finally figure it out. Me and my wife started putting a plan together about wanting to move back to the Philippines. I had the funds. I found a reputable um, visa agency in the Philippines, and they work with overstays, a lot from China. And the Chinese were getting scammed. These people are trustworthy. I can't remember the name right now. And if anyone wants to reach out to me, I will produce the name of the agency and the attorney that I used to remove my blacklist in the Philippines. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna file a petition to have the blacklist removed. You should have a reason. Maybe you have a wife there, significant other, so on and so forth. They're gonna charge you the fees. You're gonna have to pay them their costs up front, and I believe that costed me altogether about $13,000. My fines and fees were roughly 65,000, plus another 55,000 pesos to the commissioner of the Bureau of Immigration in the Philippines. There was a few other miscellaneous fees, so that 13,000 wasn't all to the agency or the attorney, and a fraction of that went to actually paying the government what I owed them, and the fees to make it happen. So it took from July of last year until October this year, so it took me 15 months for that blacklist removal to take effect, in which the Philippines slapped a 5-year ban on me. I am officially labeled persona non grata in the Philippines. It's just something you don't want to be. Before you have the blacklist removal done, you will be persona non grata. That's what that is. Right now I'm banned. And on November 1st, I got the notification that the blacklist was being removed on October 12th, 2023. On November 1st, I paid the bond. The bond was 75,000 pesos. Once that processes, they will issue me a little card, kind of like an ID card, or I think it's a BIR card in the Philippines, but I'll have a card to be able to enter and exit through the airport that I can just show them, and I will also have all the paperwork needed to back that card up. I've got receipts and everything. These guys are all legit. But yeah, it's running on almost going on 2 years in July, if it lasts that long. That's taking this process to take effect. But that is the proper way to do it. You're not just gonna pay to get back in the Philippines. There are, as I mentioned earlier, there are Chinese who have been deported for various reasons, crimes, overstays, and there were people pretending to be agencies that were charging them like 2 million pesos each to remove their blacklist and then keeping the money and disappearing. You don't want to do that either. That's a scam, and it's not that easy. It's not cut and dry. It's a lengthy process. But if you guys need to know anything else on the blacklist removal, please comment, like, and follow, subscribe. Leave me a comment or contact me directly, and I can produce form numbers, and I can also produce the agency that I used if you're interested in doing that. Unless you can find a trusted agency on your own. These guys did it for me for a very fair price. They're happy to help foreigners. They're good people. And they'd appreciate the business. So for now, that's everything. And I look forward to hearing from you. Good luck, and take care of yourselves, because life abroad can wear on you and it can get tough. Take care. It's the Tones. Have a good day.